How can we benefit from understanding the power of the circle of life? That is the issue that we're going to be addressing today on Flourishment. I'm your host, Tina Yeager. Flourishment is sponsored by Access More. Today, I have with me Stacy Shewey, and she is involved with a tremendous mission that involves this very topic of the circle of life. She began her career with Hyatt Hotels and Resorts, but after many years in the hospitality industry, she felt the call to take her experiences and knowledge to those in developing nations. And she began to understand the need in those places for serving the vulnerable, the forgotten, in the senior population. It was then, with that revelation, that Hands for Life was born. She is now the founder and CEO of Hands for Life. And she's here to talk to us today about the need and the message of understanding the power of the circle of life. Welcome, Stacy. I'm so glad that you're on Flourishment today.
Thank you. I am too.
Tell us a little bit more about your story. You shared a little bit in your bio, but tell us what really led you to make that huge change to go from this very successful career in hospitality to becoming a nonprofit owner and founder and CEO and going out into developing nations to reach those that no one normally even thinks about.
Yeah. So I grew up in an intergenerational home where my grandparents lived with us. So I learned from the get-go the importance of that grandparent-grandchild relationship. And my grandparents were really influential on who I am today. And so I could see like God preparing me for this work that I'm doing today. But I have the gift of hospitality and love to serve others. So I went into that hospitality industry. And 4 years ago, my family, we moved from Illinois to Florida. And I sold my hospitality business and wanted a job where I was making a difference every day in people's lives. So my family said, well, why don't you go run an assisted living? It's very much like running a hotel. So I did. I ran an assisted living memory care for about a year and a half. And it just was not where I was supposed to be. And God gave me this vision to go care for seniors in places where there's no one and nothing, where they have nothing and no one caring for them. So I left the corporate America and I started to just took 2 months to pray about this, to research it, to investigate this need. And what I found was we're in a global aging crisis, and many people don't know that. But 60% of the aging population live in developing nations right now. And by 2030, that number is going up to 80%. And there's no resources. Their government is not focusing on the senior population. There's not AARP, there's not Social Security. So they're really in dire straits. And so when I went to the mission field and did some research, what I found was that the seniors are abandoned, they're abused, they're neglected, and for many different reasons. Some of the reasons are that just lack of education of the aging process, that they don't know what dementia is, what Alzheimer's is. So if mom is acting a little off and doesn't remember your name, they think that they're possessed by demons and they do exorcism. And so a lot of it is education that we have to do. Some of it is just fleeing the country. The younger generation is fleeing the country for a better opportunity and can't bring mom and dad with them. So I found the need was great. And so it started out with just assisted living in developing nations, but God in his tricky ways just kept on growing and growing this vision. And when I thought, like, we need to get to the root of the problem, we need to fix something. I don't want to just build housing. That doesn't solve anything. So how do we solve this crisis? And what was revealed was it's that younger generation. We need to get to the children, and we need to teach the children the circle of life, that your parents took care of you, and there comes a time when you have to care for them. So what we are doing is we're pairing orphan children with orphan seniors, and we're building an intergenerational home for them. And they form a unique new family where the seniors impart their wisdom on the children, and then the children learn to honor and respect their seniors. And I said, it's really the forgotten commandment, that commandment of honoring your mother and father. That's what we have to focus on. And, you know, we don't even do a good job of it here in the United States, of honoring our parents and honoring our elders. So the need is great all around the world, and it doesn't matter where you live, you can serve this population. And it's something, like I said, God, I think, wants us to focus on. And I found when you serve others, that's when you find that true joy in your life. That's what gives you that purpose. And we need to take our eyes off of ourselves, focus on Jesus, and focus on that commandment of the second commandment of loving others. And so we are in Hands for Life. We are in our first project, which is in Nigeria. And what we have is a 5-acre campus that we will build this intergenerational home on. They'll house both of the generations. There'll be caregivers 24/7 for the seniors, but then there'll be missionary parents to love and guide the children. And then we have a career workshop. So there'll be like woodworking, a cooking workshop, arts and crafts, and the seniors will teach the children whatever their craft and trade is. And that gives purpose to the seniors, and it really rewrites that narrative of these children. So when they age out, when they get to age to go venture out on their own, instead of being put on the streets, they are now equipped with job skills, life skills, and also the armor of God. And so they can be launched out successfully. And our vision is that they pair with a business person in their country, and they go start senior living for profit. So we're creating jobs, we're stimulating the economy, and we're empowering them to take care of their own people.
Wow, that is such an innovative model. And I know that I have seen a few examples in the United States where they take children's care facilities and elder care facilities and put them next door to one another. But I have not heard of anything like this. Is this a brand new concept?
So intergenerational relationships, that's not a new thing. That has been studied, and it's a win-win on both sides. And there's organizations out in the world that are focusing on pairing the two together, but doing it in the way that we are doing it is something very unique, where they're living together. We're taking two vulnerable population groups and combining them to make this new family. That's very cutting edge, new, and what I'm doing is collaborating with senior living experts all around the world to design and operate the best senior living campus, um, using very little resources. And how can we use biophilic design to design bringing nature in and using principles that increase the longevity of life, but also the quality of life. So there's a lot of innovative concepts going into this Hands for Life project.
That's incredible and exciting at the same time. I love this model. This is so new and so potentially impactful. You could change the world truly with this concept and this model. Are you asking people to come alongside you to become part of this? What is it that people who are listening can do to support you? And how can they get in touch with you to find out more?
Yeah, the need is great. The Bible says that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So yes, we need people to come and help. I say I feel like Nehemiah. I'm just the cupbearer. How am I supposed to do all this myself? But God provides those people. So we need experts in child education, childcare. We need experts in senior living. Um, we need uh, people who want to adopt, sponsor a grandparent or grandchild. We have a program going for just $39 a month. You can sponsor one of our family members and they'll send you videos, and you can send videos, and you can even go with us and meet your person. We need corporate sponsors. We need individual, like monthly sponsors, because we are a nonprofit. So all of this information can be found on our website. And the website is the number 4, lworld.org. And we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram. They can find me on my LinkedIn, Stacy Shewey. So lots of different ways to get a hold of us.
I imagine you'll probably be posting some of the testimonies of the people that you're impacting in the countries where your ministry is existing right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, and Tina, if they go to our website, sign up for our newsletter. We don't like bombard you with emails. It's just once a month. I send out a little beautiful newsletter that gives pictures and stories of the impact that our partners are making, with your donations, with your support. What is it doing in these countries? So the newsletter is a good way to stay up to date.
Oh, it'd be wonderful. I imagine that those are very heartwarming stories. And I'm sure that you who are listening cannot wait to hear those wonderful stories of people whose lives are already being changed in this brand new one of a kind ministry that is going to change the world. So for all of you listening, make sure that you get in touch with Stacy Shewey at Hands for Life and her website. And of course, I also hope that you come back for the next episode of Flourishment. Flourishment is part of the Spark Media Network and can be found on the Edify app.